Plants grow from the soil. They turn the light from the sun into the food they need to grow. Plants can be big or small, from giant trees into tiny patches of moss. Different plants can grow in different habitats, so let's explore the science behind plant adaptation. Hello, my dear students. Our lesson today is about adaptation of plants. We know that different plants can grow in different habitats. This means that each plant has its own traits that can help it to adapt and survive in its environment. Today, we are going to talk about the way of adaptation of number 1, canopy acacia tree, kabuk tree, mangrove tree, water lily, palm tree, pine tree, and the different types of acacia tree, and finally the prickly pear. So let's move to the first habitat, which is savanna. Savanna is a grassland habitat. Again, savanna is grassland habitat, which means that it's a large open area covered in grass and shrubs, but not many trees. This means that it has few trees. Savanna is found in South Africa. Again, savanna is found in South Africa. So, where is it found? That's right, in South Africa. The weather in savanna is warm and it has a lot of sun. Again, it's warm and full of sunlight. This means that its temperature is moderate. Moderate means that it's warm and sunny, but it's not too hot. So, we said that savanna is found in South Africa. Also, its temperature is moderate. And moderate means that it's warm and sunny, but not too hot. The amount of rain in savanna is, or it changes through the year. So we can find that in some months there is a lot of rainfalls, but in other months there is little or no rain at all. From here we can say that savanna can suffer from severe shortage or lack of water throughout half the months of the year. And these are called the drought season. So we can find that not all the plants can survive in this drought season, but the acacia tree can survive in its drought season. Now we are going to speak about the first tree, which is canopy acacia tree. Again, canopy acacia tree. Canopy acacia tree has its own traits that can help it to adapt and survive in its environment. So let's start with the first one, which is its roots. Canopy acacia tree has a special type of roots called tap roots. Again, tap roots. What's a tap root? A tap root is a long and central root that goes down and down under the soil. When we look at this picture, we can find that there are some small roots that goes out from these tap roots. Again, some small roots go out from these tap roots. These tap roots are very important as, number one, it can fix the plant in its place. Also, it can go deep and deep under the soil. It can reach the depth of 35 meters trying to reach the deep underground water. What about its trunk? Can you guess? This trunk, is it tall or short? Again, is it long or short? That's right, it's short trunk. So, acacia tree has short trunk. This short trunk is very important as it can store the water. So, as the camel can store fats in its hump, also the trunk of acacia tree can store the water. It has branches. These branches grow widely, which makes the leaves at the top of the tree look like an umbrella. These small leaves can absorb the sunlight to make the food. Well, we know that most animals can eat the plants to get water and nutrients, but what about the acacia tree? In fact, not all the animals can reach these leaves, except the giraffes. This is for two reasons. The first reason is that it has thorns or spines on its branches. This thorn or the spine can stop the animals from eating the leaves. Also, because of its height, so not all the animals can reach to the leaves of the plants. Well, when an animal tries to eat the leaves of the plants, what will happen? The leaves will start to secrete or produce a poison. This poison will make the leaves taste badly, so the animals will go away from this tree. Not only this, also the plant can produce or send a message, it's a warning message in the form of a bad smell. This bad smell will move or carried by the air into the nearby trees. So the other trees can also produce the same bad smell and the poison to stop the animals from eating their leaves. Well, let's move to another plant which can take also the shape of umbrella, which is called kapok tree. Again, kapok tree. This tree can grow in the rainforest of Amazon in Brazil. Its height reaches 70 meters. Whoa, 70 meters? This means that it's very long. Well, let's know what are the traits that can help this kapok tree to adapt and survive in its environment. We are going to talk about its roots, flowers, and leaves. First, its roots. It has a very special type of roots called buttress roots. Again, buttress roots. These roots are very large. As we see here, these roots are large and they are wide and they are found on all the sides of the tree. Also, we can find that they are found above the ground. These roots are very important because they can fix the plant and support it in its place. Well, the height or the length of these buttress roots can start from 5 meters. What about its flowers? Let's see. It has white and pink flowers. Again, it has white and pink flowers. These white and pink flowers need to produce new baby plants, so they need helpers. Do you know who are the helpers? That's right, the bats. So these white and pink flowers will secrete their scent to attract the bats. The bats will fly and transfer the pollen, which is a yellow powder, from the father flower and give it to the mother flower to produce a new plant. Well, what about its leaves? But first, before talking about the leaves of kapok tree, let's know what are the types of the leaves. There are two types of leaves. The first type is called simple leaf. The second one is called compound leaf. Again, simple leaf and compound leaf. What is the difference between these two types? Let's see. A simple leaf is an undivided leaf, which means that when we look at this leaf, we can find it as it's a leaf. What about the compound one? In fact, the compound one is divided into smaller parts. Again, the compound leaf is divided into smaller parts. Each small part is called leaflet. Again, each small part is called leaflet. So when we look here, we can find that the simple leaf, it looks as it's an undivided leaf. While the compound leaf, it's divided into smaller leaflets. But what about the kapok tree? In fact, it has compound leaves. Which kind of compound leaves? It's called palmately compound leaves. Again, palmately compound leaves. These leaflets look like that they emerge or they come out from the same point. Okay? Well, these leaves can allow the wind to pass through them. Again, the leaflets can allow the wind to pass through them. Also, the wind can help the plant to reproduce by blowing the seeds away. So it can remove the seed from one place to another place to produce a new one. So we said that kapok tree has a very special type of roots called buttress roots. What else? It has palmately compound leaves. Also it has pink and white flowers. Let's move to another type of plant which is called mangrove tree. Again, mangrove tree. This mangrove tree, when we look here, we can find something strange. The roots are coming out from the soil and it extends above the ground. This kind of root is called aerial roots. Again, this kind of roots is called aerial roots. These aerial roots are very important because it can help the plant to withstand against waves. So here, this kind of adaptation is which kind? Is it structural adaptation or behavioral adaptation? Well, we will look and we will find that the tree uses a part of it, so it's a structural adaptation. Let's move to another one, which is the water lily or the lotus. When we look here, we can find that on the upper surface of the leaf, there is a layer of wax. Again, the upper surface of the leaf is covered with wax. This wax can keep the water away from the leaves. Also, these leaves are big, so it has big and round leaves. These large or big leaves can absorb more amount of sunlight so that it can make its own food. Well, this kind of adaptation, is it behavioral adaptation or structural adaptation? That's right, it's structural adaptation because the plant here depends on a part of it that can help it to adapt in its environment. What else? The palm tree. Of course, all of you know the palm tree. When we look at this picture, we can find that it has spines or thorns on their leaves and trunks. This can stop the animals from eating their leaves. What else? It's a structural adaptation. What else? Pine tree. The pine tree has shorter branches and thorns instead of leaves, so that when the snow falls, it will not accumulate or found on the branch so it will fall. No, this snow will fall off from the trees easily so that the branch will not be cut. Also, it's a structural adaptation. Moving to the acacia tree, we know that it has very long roots to reach the deep underground water. Also, this kind of adaptation is called structural adaptation. The last one is the prickly pear. Of course, all of you love to eat it, right? But it has many thorns or spines that can stop the animals from eating its leaves. This kind of adaptation is structural adaptation. So here we talked about the types of the ways of different plants to adapt in their environment. That's all for today. Until we meet again, So, bye!